on the inside of Spencer, and we got a spin.
Jeff Fuller, the 88 car, going around back up into traffic.
Is that the 12?
Nice job by Jack Sprague to keep from running into him. There's another car involved out there in the backstretch as well.
And we see the 17 car, Kenseth, getting that lap back. Is that Kerry Earnhardt?
It might have been Kerry Earnhardt. That's what it looked like to me. But
Kerry Earnhardt, the other car involved in the crash. Again, speculation. We're not exactly sure.
There it is.
Right. Speculation confirmed.
And he certainly got the worst of it. So first caution of the race comes out. Trouble off of turn number 2.
well, Rendez hoping that doesn't happen in threes because his two teammates are having some tough luck right now.
Nemechek and Fuller, yeah. What happened?
Well,
I don't know yet. Looks like somebody got into the wall there getting off of turn 2 and just lost it.
That would be Kerry.
And he comes across the racetrack, and Jeff Fuller had done a terrific job. I mean, to miss all this stuff and got tagged in the rear. And that's a hard lick to the right front.
That car came off the ground.
Watch Jack Sprague. Got them all locked up and smoking to keep from running into Fuller.
Listen to this.
It was kind of after he saved it once, or tried to save it.
Let's see.
There we go.
Christian Elder's view, driving through the accident scene in turn 2.
Watch him.
Under caution at Daytona.
Hello. Good job. Go on now, go on.
In that program because Martin missed the last restrictor plate race he tried to make. Right now, his car is a bit tighter. Marty, let's go back up to Allen.
Mike McLaughlin has just bounced off the outside wall. No caution yet.
Oh, there's got to be caution. It looked like there's a lot of debris back there.
All right, guys.
No caution yet. Fourth place car. It's where McLaughlin was running at the time, and I believe the two of Johnny Sauter got a piece of that also.
As a matter of fact, Sauter is very slow off turn 4.
Caution's going to come out now.
Second gear, 4200.
And now we see where Sauter has. Oh, and the 25 car, Hamilton. The right rear tire is blown. Oh, he just missed that wall, but look at the damage to the quarter panel that right rear tire is done. You talk about the debris over there? That's probably what caused that.
Yeah, I bet so, because there was a lot of garbage on that backstretch, BP.
Saying there's a piece of metal sticking out of one of the crossover gates.
Look at the tire. I mean, when that tire goes, it blew.
The tire blows the quarter panel off, the side windows out in the right rear quarter panel.
Look at the damage a tire can do when it blows. Right through the top of the fender.
Yeah, blew the window out of the right rear.
Side window to put in it.
That's Fred Wanke, the crew chief.
Your upper window back here by the C post, before the C post does.
And Michael Waltrip tried to race Jimmy Spencer back to the caution.
We'll fix it.
Did not make it. Second yellow flag of the race. Mike McLaughlin's team's got a lot of work to do.
And did you see that right rear tire wobble as he came to a stop? That means the housing is probably badly bent.
Let's take a look and see if we can catch this thing early enough, see what may have happened. Here you see the 18 car of Mike McLaughlin that may have got a little contact there, and that's what happened. Johnny Sauter got in his right rear quarter panel and turned him right into the wall.
Stuck the nose in on the outside. Mike didn't know he was there.
One more angle. Ever see Sauter? He's going to try to pass on the outside. Mike McLaughlin, the 18, did not know he was there. They made contact, and so we can eliminate those two cars.
McLaughlin has just had terrible Daytona luck during his career. And there's more. Nice job by Michael Waltrip to miss the rebounding car.
You never see the Rick on board with Sauter. Listen.
You know, that's a tough one to call. He could have been here in clear. That's a long way for a spotter to call it. But how about it, Marty?
Johnny Sauter on pit road, Wally. As you can see, they only got right side tires on. The damage is more significant on the right front than it is the left front, although there's damage in both places. Richard Childress has been on the radio trying to calm his young driver down just to make sure that he's okay. Johnny barking on the radio right now, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they do pull
into the lead lap if he can get a caution here. Caution behind him. Trouble coming to the start-finish line. Hank Parker Jr.'s in it. Andy Kirby's in it. Tony Raines is in it. Christian Elder and Tim Sauter.
You all right? Yep.
Third yellow of the day. Now Michael Waltrip has to beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. back around to the flag.
Which I don't think that's going to be a problem.
And Dale Jr.'s backing off.
He's backed off. The entire field has backed off, and Michael is just safely out there in front. So he is going to get that lap back with a very fast race car.
Crash coming into the tri-oval, sweeping up 5 cars.
Ever see Hank Parker Jr. trying to get a very beat-up GNC car back to the pit area?
Go behind the wall with this thing. Let's get set up, guys.
It's Gary Cogswell, his crew chief. You saw Tim Sauter drive by him there.
Just had to get around that 46. Everything would have been fine. Yeah, it looked like it was a lot better for you.
They're talking about the chassis setup
Get them back there through the
and how
opening.
it was
There's an
working.
opening right there's the start-finish line, Hank. Let's get back there somewhere and see what we got. Get the toolbox back there to Jackson Sam's. See if what we can do here.
I don't think the driver was talking about the handling either when he was mentioning that. He was just trying to get... We'll have to see the replay on it.
There's Andy Kirby's car. Christian Elder climbing from his machine. He's okay. Tony Raines drove his back to his pit box.
Lyndon Amick was also involved. You see the 26 car, the Dr. Pepper car, going down pit road with some damage in those of his car.
There's Tony Raines.
A lot of damage to that car.
Or what's left of it anyway. And again, the 77 car of Andy Kirby sits at the exit of pit road. So caution at lap number 76, just past 175 miles. Off of turn number 4, here it is.
Christian Elder comes up, makes contact with Ashton Lewis, the red car. And then behind them, they basically got into the smoke, trying to dodge. They lose control, and man, hate that.
So don't those drivers. We'll be right back. Third caution of today's EAS GNC Live Well 300 for the NASCAR Busch Series at the Daytona International Speedway. A wreck that swept up 5 cars coming off turn 4, heading toward the start-finish line.
See if we can get a look at get Christian Elder and Ashton Lewis, and just, I don't know BP if he thought he was clear, he was told he was clear, it just came across the nose, and it doesn't take much here.
Well, he just touched that right rear of Christian Elder's car, and he goes up in the wall, and the 46 hits the wall, and these other guys trying to dodge. The 19 of Tim Sauter, the 36 of Hank Parker Jr., and big mess ensued there. The 33, Tony Raines, he comes across, has nowhere to go except from the back. And listen to this.
Andy Kirby looked like he had it saved and came back on the racetrack and slid all the way up.
Oh, man.
He had it. He had it clear. Yep. Got hit.
Tim Sauter got hit in that inside line. He was slowing up. He got hit and thrown over into Hank. And I couldn't pick up the number of who it was that hit Sauter.
I didn't see anything out of that windshield.
And someone in the booth just said that Christian Elder all of a sudden started clipping grass instead of hair.
Super. You didn't write that, did you?
No, I didn't. I know. I didn't. I just repeated something someone said. There you see Michael Waltrip getting that line back.
That's from the flat.
Kenseth or moves him out of the way, one of the two.
Trouble. Crash. Greg Biffle right in front of the field. David Green in the 6, spinning onto the apron.
Okay, Greg.
10-4, I'm okay.
All right, come on, come on.
Biffle was 7th. David Green 15th when they came across the start-finish line. They never made it to turn 1. Caution is out. Here come the leaders racing back around to the yellow.
I don't think they raced back to the yellow in this division. I'm pretty sure that the NASCAR Busch Series, those guys just kind of hold their position. Marty?
Well, the problem for Matt Kenseth on the racetrack, you saw the contact with he and Jimmy Spencer. Matt has radioed to his team. He thinks the left rear tire is now cut down on Matt Kenseth's car, the teammate for Greg Biffle in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. So Greg Biffle out on the track right now trying to limp back to pit road. Matt Kenseth possibly going to make a pit stop because he thinks the left rear tire is cut down.
And we see Jamie McMurray has made a pit stop, so obviously he and Biffle got together, and there we see McMurray on pit road. Looks like a Martinsville right door.
McMurray, 25-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, in his 36th NASCAR Busch Series start. Former go-kart champion on his 2nd season in the Busch Series in 2002.
See David Green driving in. And pit road is closed, so he'll have to start at the rear of the field on the restart.
David Green led the first 9 laps of the race.
All right, let's check out and see if we can tell what might have happened here. There we see Biffle up there. Oh, I see. Contact from... That was Shane Meal, wasn't it?
Trying to get a good look at that number, and it just went... He hit them both.
Yeah.
Dave?
The crumbled car of Greg Biffle now on pit road. Left side damage. They've already gone to the right and changed tires. Didn't do a whole lot of fender pulling there. But Biffle comes in, and now they're going to really work on the left front. That appears to be where they've got a tire rub situation. The left front fender being pushed in. So right now they're just trying to get it so it can finish this race. Remember, this is the start of the season. Points count here, and at the end of the year, Greg Biffle wants to make sure he finished this 300-miler. Alan?
Randy LaJoie has come in. A few others. Ricky Hendrick is in. They've got some damage on each of their cars. There's LaJoie. Let's go back and see if we can pick out who that was.
I don't think we can from that angle.
It's just in front of Scott Riggs, looked to be who the car was.
All right, here we go. There we see the contact.
That's Randy.
Randy LaJoie.
Randy LaJoie.
All right. No wonder he has some damage to his car.
And David Green got hit by Ricky Hendrick.
Okay, there we go. On board with Greg Biffle. There is Randy.
Well, that pretty much tells the story.
Hey, Greg.
Tony Stewart, how about it?
Well, it looks like Jamie McMurray's up there in the first car. I don't know where the contact starts, though. Looks like Randy gets in the back of McMurray, and that pushes him up into Biffle, and then Biffle comes back down. So everybody got into everybody in that exchange.
Yeah, I think that Randy got in the back of Jamie McMurray, and then he tried to back off and turn to the right, and when he did that, he ran in the side of Greg Biffle.
Cleanup continues. We're about a lap.
Welcome back to Rockingham, where we're under caution in the 1-866-RBC-TERM.com, presented by RBC Insurance 200. Josh Richardson making his 3rd career start is on pit road. He caused the caution, as you watch from our Marine Corps copter cam. Here's what happened.
I don't think there was any contact. Back in there, I think he just raced in under that car beside him. I can't see who that is, but probably turned it down trying to keep him getting in the car on the outside, and just the back end came out and whoop. Yeah, see, he gets down under that car, and actually that car probably pulled the back end of the car. The outside car probably pulled the back of his car around just a tad, got loose, spun the bad boy out.
Now, rookie Daniel Johnson following that.
He says, I think I can get a lap back.
That's what he was trying to do right there, because that's the leaders right in front of him. They just had lapped it, and he's going to try to get back around and get his lap back. It didn't work out.
Didn't work out for him. Now he's 2 laps down.
As that happened, Mike.
We got a little bit of problem on the back straightaway right here. 92, caution is on the speedway. Sandy Houston in the 92 car.
32, Dan Pardis was either involved or really swerved down low to miss that. And stay out of the way. So second caution comes quickly here.
Yeah, they're going to need some of that. Excedrin. That's Mr. Headache's car right there.
Still a little early. I know they're wanting tires, but
24 laps can't come in right now. Sorry, guys. A driver is screaming, I need to come in, I need to come in, and the crew chief is saying,
no, not yet. A few more laps. Everything will be okay. Please.
Let's have a look over on the backstretch and see what brought out this second caution.
whoa, little help there.
Yeah. From Christian Elder in the 38 car.
38
the orange car.
Guy must have been, I guess 92 must have been in his way.
Well, 92 looked pretty loose before Christian got there. Hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
You can see they were way behind this pack right here, so something was going on.
Yeah,
got a little bit behind.
92 had been in the pit, so he was at the back of the field. Sometime you make a pit stop and you come back.
21, left side tires going in trouble on the front stretch.
The 32, Dan Pardis, has spun on the front
I don't think they're going to
straightaway.
throw the caution. I think they're aware of everybody making green flag stops. He's out of harm's way. I say let him go green. This is no time to throw a caution because it's going to mess up everybody.
Murray is the leader. Look at the top right of your screen, and you see Dan Pardis go for that harmless spin down to the grass. He gets going again right away. No caution. NASCAR on Fox stays green.
Busch 200, presented by...
We're coming off of turn 2 down here now. The 60 car comes off. Watch this. He bumps the wall. Bam. But watch this 77 car. Bam. Up on the wall he goes. Thing almost turned over. Comes down here. Gets up into it again. And then spins around.
But this will show it a lot better right here. You're going to see Biffle in the 60 up against the wall. Andy Kirby backs off. Scott Riggs in the yellow 10 gets into the back of him, catapults him into the outside wall.
Man, he hit that thing hard twice. And I looked up and all I saw was the roof, 77.
From Hank Parker Jr.
God. And that thing almost turned over. Watch this thing. It almost turned over. Gosh.
He hit that wall hard 2 or 3 times.
3 times.
So caution is out for Andy Kirby. NASCAR on Fox continues after this.
Each other out there. Considering the differences in the...
Whoa, turned around.
Christian Elder, I believe that was in the 38 car. Whoa!
Caution is out.
And these guys up front here are going to get those laps back. Several guys will get laps back.
Tony Raines in the 33 gets his lap back.
Casey Kane
in the 98.
The 60, Greg Biffle. The 10, Scott Riggs. The 26, Lyndon Amick. All got past the leader. And Christian Elder will be headed for the garage. Here's what happened.
Up off turn 2 here. Gets into the back of the black car. When he bounces back off the wall, he comes back into Christian Elder in the 38, sends him into the inside wall.
Yeah, that could have been a whole lot worse. Bunch of cars right there just about ready to wad up.
Here's another look. That's Scott Wimmer in the 23 just ahead.
Comes Elder. The cars, that 23 is Wimmer's headed for the wall. Elder just gets hit from behind by Jack Sprague.
And amazing how Jack Sprague in the 24 car was not involved in it any worse than he was.
He was involved. He's not badly involved.
Elder limping to the garage as cars come onto pit road. We'll have one more look at it here.
That's just one of those deals where somebody gets up in the fence, they lift up out of the throttle, and Somebody's going to have to pay for that.
Dick Berggren.
Now Tony Raines get his lap back. He's on his way into the pits to get 4 fresh tires.
Got a car up on the wall again.
Shane Meal.
Big time.
Everybody locks up behind him. And they
man.
all get through. Oh, hard to believe. They all got through.
They were not sure where he was going to end up.
And it wasn't like he had any control over that car.
Absolutely not.
He just along for the ride once all that happened.
The 21-year-old from Conover, North Carolina. There's his dad, Steve, looking on from the spotter stand up on the roof. And Shane, who crashed on his second lap of qualifying and had to go to this backup car, is going to be done for the day.
All kinds of moving around in there. That's a good indication. Everything's good. Just can't say that for the race car.
It looks like. The kill, Steve. You could probably pull the fenders off and run a little bit. I don't know. It got in the air pretty good. Killed.
It's killed.
And it came down pretty hard.
Yeah, trust me, Steve, it's killed. You can't see the right side of the car.
Underneath the 66, and either we came up or 66 came down.
Okay, Johnny Sauter in the 2 car. Remember, he did not pit that lost caution. He saw the disadvantage of those tires, so he's on pit road, Matt Yoakum.
And Larry, he talked to his crew chief, Ricky Vyers, about the fact that this 2 car is a little bit tight. They were talking about making a chassis adjustment. They waved that off. This will be a 4-tire change, though. Remember, like you mentioned, he had about 10 extra laps on his set of tires than the other competition. They'd warned him right before that caution that the 2 cars right behind him had fresh tires, so be careful. A little bit of trouble on the left rear, and the Blue Deuce pulls away. See if we can see what happened over here on the back. Again, this car gets up on the wall and almost, man, they seem like they're going to turn over. Watch them come off the 2 here. 66 got forced up, looked like, by the 47. Buddy, bam, the thing hit that hard.
Hits it twice. Now he comes down the track and then slides up.
Yeah, and watch, I mean, right at the end, a couple of cars just barely squeezed through.
Down the track.
All right, now watch. Here he comes back right
up the track.
Oh, my goodness. That'll make you draw up.
From Kenny Wallace.
See how high that 47 came off the ground?
And Shane is okay.
Now, I was looking at Kenny Wallace's car. Shane Mill is Kenny Wallace's teammate.
So he is out of the race. Jason Keller is our leader. We are working caution. This is NASCAR on Fox. Not Shane Meal's fault. Watch the black 66 on the outside.
Hey, watch this black car right in. See him right in there. He got up on the wall and we bounced off. He got into 47. Man, that thing almost went over. And he goes back and hits it hard again. Now, this is where it really gets exciting. Here comes some other guys. They say, okay, he's going down. Go high, go high. Spotter saying, go high, go high. Whoop, go low.
Look at Kerry Ernst, 12 car.
Ron Hornaday and what great restarts he'd have. Folks, oh, trouble. We got a car going around down there. Shane, I think that's Shane.
Shane Mill in the 47 car.
Jack Spray got into him in the middle of the corner. Should I say they got together?
Whoa, man, people are going all around him.
He's sitting there looking dead at these cars coming at him.
I want to finish up real quick, though, on those restarts. Ron Hornaday would start in first gear. Everybody else would start in second gear. So he actually had an extra shift on everybody. Have a real high first gear, get a slow start, come down. You got an extra gear. Makes you look like you really are a great restarter.
He did. Hornaday and Richie Evans were the best I ever saw in restarts for much the same reason. Watch the 24 of Spray coming down low and Meal coming down low.
What happened was the 24 got those left wheels down on the apron just a little bit, and his car took off up the racetrack, and Shane Meal was right there, and he got into him. Jack did an incredible job keeping wrecking himself.
But he got plenty of damage to that right side of his car,
he did.
I believe.
But he got, ooh, look at
Johnny
that.
Sauter in the 2. Just last minute goes by Shane on the outside.
I think if we look at that again, you'll see the 24 got down on the apron. Oh, I hate that sound. God, I hate that sound. Sitting there looking at those cars coming at you at 150 miles an hour. And what you heard, folks, you hear that engine, you hear him staying in the throttle. You'll try to, when the car starts around, you'll try to keep the throttle down so those rear wheels are actually spinning forward, slow you down just a little bit. He doesn't look very happy, does he?
Third, caution of the after.
Trouble, turn one.
One car, two cars hard in the wall in turn one. Ricky Hendrick is one of them.
Tony Raines in the 33 car.
Raines, who had led this race earlier, here comes some guys again trying to get laps back. Burton's going to slow down. He's going to let several of these guys get back on the lead lap, looks like.
Brian Vickers in the 40, Nimitz in the 87. McMurray in the 27 tried to do it on
Didn't quite make it. Well, that was a hard lick up in the corner there, guys. Yeah, but when you get turned around going into turn one, that's a big lick.
Ricky Hendrick has put the window net down. That's a signal to rescue officials that he'll be able to get out under his own power.
The beautiful thing is it's not on the driver's side. It's on the passenger side. And Linda, I think you can relax. That's his mom. I think that little Ricky looks okay.
And likewise, Tony Raines, the window net down on his car. He's just undoing his safety paraphernalia. Let's have a look here.
Well, it started way back here in the corner. I got to believe somebody got into the back of Ricky and turned him up the racetrack right in front of Raines.
They were carrying a lot of speed when they got to that wall.
190 miles an hour down in that first turn.
Let's listen in.
Back her down. Easy. Stay low. Caution's out. Come on around. Come on. You're clear. Outside.
Hear how calm the spotter stays?
Yeah, that's Danny Cullors. He's got a lot of experience spotting, and he's doing a real good job for Michael there.
Spotted for Dale Earnhardt for a number of years.
Long time. That car's
great day, and just was marching forward. Goes to the bottom of Dwayne Light there, the 81 car. And the car just carried up the racetrack right there. Just momentum shoots you up the racetrack.
Boy, Kenny Wallace just snuck through there.
It's such a trap. I mean, you get a run on the guy right there, and you think, man, if I can just get by him, and all of a sudden you lose grip, into him you go.
Well, the 16 car, Chad Chafin, just came by, and I just barely missed hitting him while he was at the bottom of the racetrack.
This is a self-cleaning track. They'll usually go right down the hill right there.
Going off into turn one, you roll out of the throttle, you're picking the throttle up right there in the middle, and momentum just shot him up the racetrack.
Just ran over.
Now both cars did return to the pit, but Amick's problem is going to be that NASCAR won't let him go back on the track without a rear spoiler. And that deck lid and spoiler are junk.
I think he's going to need a lot more than that.
Dwayne Light is able to return to kind
of a league of his own. And ain't the Busch league either.
It's Jeff Purvis.
I think he had a little help getting up into the turn two wall, and now he has a whole lot of aerodynamic inefficiency.
Yeah, part of it is sticking up over the top of the car.
That explains it. The spotter said that Mark Green got in the back of it.
We stay under green flag, no caution.
Caution.
Their caution is out.
Mark Green is Mark Green is right behind him right now. I don't think he wants to get up the side of him. I think he's kind of laying back.
Here's a look at it.
Well, it's all about getting into turn one here, and you can't go in like that right there. Get on the outside. The guy on the outside really should give the guy on the inside the right of way.
Well, when he put his left wheels down on the flat, I mean,
look at that tailpipes. There's the tailpipes off of somebody's car.
When Mark Green put his left tires down on the flat, was he all but guaranteed of sliding back up the racetrack?
Well, that's what happens, and that's why the guy on the outside, you got to know that's going to happen. There's not enough room there for you going that corner side by side. Better off to back off, give that guy on the inside the position, and then put the crossover move on him. Go right back under him. That's smart racing.
So the debris down in turn one from that is the reason for the caution flag.
The 38 car that got into Purvis has got quite a bit of damage on his right side as well. You can see he got a flat tire.
It's been about 35 laps since we pitted all our leaders. They are on pit road.
One car got into the wall,
Larry
slowed dramatically,
car.
and got pile driven
by a car coming fast on the outside.
Yeah, he's Brian Vickers in the 40 car.
He's still going fast.
And he has no brakes. He's knocked the brake line off, and he's going to have to keep going around. It don't look like he's going to come to pit road this time.
No.
Way too fast for his crew ever to stop him.
Foyt bounced off the outside wall, and Vickers had nowhere to go.
Oh, man, he just knocked the fire out of the wall again. Down here, coming off of turn 4, he just turned dead. Look at that thing. That thing just took a dead left or right into the wall.
You see how much the right front tire's turned in right there. I would say what he's got, the tie rod or the drag link's bent or broke, and he had no control of it.
He was just coming around the turn there, and all of a sudden that thing just goes dead left on him.
Oh,
watch this. Here he comes. Here he comes. Man, it's like, I don't know if that, maybe that hood being up in front of him, maybe he thought he was at the pit road entrance, because look how he just turned.
Yeah, the right front tire was not towed in that bad until he hit the wall.
There's Larry Foyt moving around in his car, which is a good sign.
When the net's down, that's
okay.
even a better sign.
Yes. Now watch Foyt come up off the corner and
got in the fence.
Yeah, he was already in the fence. Caught it, and it just arrested his forward motion, and poor Brian Vickers had nowhere to go.
Ran out of racetrack.
So we're under caution for the 4th time. Jeff Burton has led every lap here at the track that has definitely proven it is too tough to tame.
You look 3/4 of a second out of your lap time here.
Ken Alexander, as you can see, smoking profusely. Looks like a tire down.
Yeah,
looks like everything
got a right
down.
front tire down.
Coming onto pit road.
I would just guess that he probably rubbed the wall.
I think the 10 comes 5th caution of the day. Hank Parker Jr. up against LaJoy. There's the first hit.
Yeah, and he got back, when he went back into the wall, he cut the right front down. Got him a little loose, corrected, thing shot into the outside wall with the right front, cut the tire down, and
there's
bam.
the real problem right there.
Randy radioed the crew, said that knocked the fuel pump off it, so the car rolled to a stop. Wow.
He was running in the 11th position.
Tried to get out of the way, and I heard him say, you know, limp it on in.
So caution is out for the 5th time. Fuel mileage is no longer a concern. We'll be back for the restart and the run to the checkered flag here at Darlington.
I'm your weatherman. Thanks, Chris. Hey, Larry Mack here at the track with this weekend's forecast. Now, I may not be as pretty as Fox's other weather personality, but I'm a different kind of weatherman. Now, the forecast for Bristol is snow, lots of snow. What? That can't be right. That's Bristol, Connecticut. Y'all been listening to Chris Myers' show. I'm talking about Bristol, Tennessee. You guessed it, Thunder Valley. And what I'm predicting is thunder and lots of it. It's like thunder, lightning. We got a pressure system building right here. High pressure up here, low pressure down here. But here there's no pressure because the front ends are gone. You know what? Aerodynamics don't matter here at Bristol at this short track. And something else to look for after a 5-race drought, Hurricane Harvick. He makes his return to the Busch Series. Can the reigning champion reign supreme once again? We'll see. Now, as we check out our 2-day forecast, we definitely see there's a storm brewing with thunder, lots of thunder in today's Busch Series race, and it only gets stronger tomorrow with possibly some lightning in that Winston Cup race. Finally, I'm seeing a lot of hot air in the infield, but no need to worry. I think it's contained in that Hollywood hotel. Jeff and Chris, back to you.
All right. Yes. 98 is Kane.
Comes off the corner on the outside. It's loose out there anyway. He got a little bit of a run off the top there. Got it in the wall. Now everybody behind him is turn 4.
And turn 2, another one. McMurray goes around.
Oh, and he's coming right back up in the racetrack.
Caution is on the speedway.
Holy cow.
And you find the back end of Lyndon Amick's car stove in after that one.
You're still wrecking over off turn 4.
Oh, the 63 found it. Ken Alexander, as well as the 44.
44, he got trapped up there. He couldn't go anywhere. He had to just run into the back of the 63 car.
And that's the reason normally a one-car spin ends up about a 5, 6, 7-car accident here.
Worst damage is on the back of the 26, stopped along the front straightaway. Lyndon Amick, somebody piled into the back of him.
The nose pretty good, Kenneth. All right, then if he's called up, we'll come in and look at it.
Ken Alexander's team, and there is Amick's car.
Oh, that
was the big hurt.
Don't raise the hood unless you have to, because you won't be able to get it back down.
We'll pick this up and show you what happened here.
We had so many cars spinning out, we can't get all of them.
One car around by himself.
That's the 84 car off turn 4 here. Now, while we're watching this, over on the back straightaway, the car gets around.
That's Brian Weber.
That's the same car there. He gets around on the front here, pushes the barrier out of the way.
Then as people checked up, the big wreck ended up down in turn 2. I didn't see who got in the back of Lyndon Amick or whether that was spinning up into the wall.
It looks like he must have backed it in the wall, or we'll be able to find who did that.
Yeah, right.
And they just got to start working on his car on pit road because he was at the back of the pack. He's already went a lap down sitting on pit road.
There's a clue, Darrell. The front end of Kevin LePage's car is pretty well torn up. Now, the front end damage to Ken Alexander that they're repairing right there, that happened after Lyndon Amick crashed. Going to readjust the barrier. That's why pit road is closed for now.
But if you have a lot of damage, come on to pit road and get it fixed, because the penalties go to the tail end of the longest line, which is way back in this field.
That's why LePage is on pit road as well as Alexander. We're under caution early.
Imagine that.
Working the first caution of the day came out of lap 8 when Brian Weber spun out of turn 4, and then a wreck ensued here at turn 2. Now here's turn 4, Weber going around and into the barrier at the head end of pit road. Here's what happened up at turn 2.
Looked like Amick almost was going to run into the car in front of him. He checked up, and the 27 car, McMurray, got into the back of him and turned him up into the fence.
What's behind you?
Now you're riding with Alexander.
Slow down. Come on, keep going. Come on.
What happened to him is his engine died.
Right.
It's after getting into the back of Mike Harmon there.
He comes sliding up there to a stop and killed the engine and had to refire it.
Matt?
Well, Mike, earlier this week at the 60-team shop, one of the people in the office opened up a letter and out popped a flat Stanley. It originated from Tyler Ford, Lincoln Elementary in Illinois. It's bebopped around the country and ended up at the 60 shop. So for good luck, they decided to put it on the dash of Greg Biffle's Ford. The only problem is, if he wins today, they might want to take it to Texas with him for good luck as well.
Flat Stanley. Okay.
Is this like a chain letter thing?
Am I the only one that don't know what that is?
No, I'll raise my hand too.
It must be some sort of project.
Yeah.
School project, I would assume.
We'll get letters.
Michael Walter, the 9.
Whoa, straight away.
Our points leader.
And it's Keller, and now it's Michael Walter, and it's Compton, and it's
Johnny
the
Sauter.
2-car.
And
where did it all begin? The 63.
Lap traffic.
I don't know that...
That's you're riding with Michael straight into the garage.
I tell you what, I wish we hadn't said anything about Stacy Compton. He is killed.
Now,
Michael killed him.
Yep. Look at that car. That car's flatter than Stanley.
Yeah. Stacy took a pretty good shot in the left rear there.
Now I'll hear about this when I get home, but Flat Stanley is a children's book character. There's a series of books about Stanley, and people take them and mail them all, write stories about mailing them all over the country and all over the world. Well, here's what happened. There's the lap car 63 on the inside. Jeff Green makes it pass. Here comes Keller. Oh, right up in front of the leader.
Yeah.
And when you're lap traffic here, it just you can't get out of the way fast enough. They're coming up on you so fast.
Damn.
It's a shame.
Boy, Michael just really laid it into Stacy there. 2-car went around. We didn't need that.
Right along with Johnny Sauter. Underneath Ashton Lewis.
Clear.
here. Mind his own business here.
One on the front. Got one on the front. Oh. Hang on. We're still all right. Whoa. Come on. Get on the brake.
He slid right through there.
Yeah, well, did you hear his spotter? Let him. You know, he's telling him how to drive.
That's Mike Dillon, Richard Childress' son-in-law.
That explains it.
That's it. Used to drive the 59 car.
At least he didn't say, oh, no, that time.
Michael Waltrip.
Back her down.
Whoops. And Michael did, and Sauter couldn't get to the brake quick enough.
And I can't tell you, that's what happens to you. You see the wreck. You slow down, but the guy behind you pile drives you like that right there.
See the wreck, be the wreck.
In the wreck.
This is what you're talking about, Darrell, about having to drive behind your own
guy
car.
behind you got to know that the guy behind you is, you got to have room between you and the guy behind you so this doesn't happen. Pretty hard to do early in the race when you're single file like this, but that's the whole situation.
Jason Keller has gone to the garage. He was the point leader. He was the second place car, and a lap car jumped up in front of him and effectively took him out. Stacy Compton was running fifth. He's had a great season going. There's Casey Kane, and what happened, Darrell, he got his left tires down on the flat, and then bounced up and into harm's way. Caution's out. Third one today.
I tell you, we're on record pace here for cautions. Now, you'd say, why didn't Spencer go on by, which he could have, but you always have a gentleman's agreement that when the caution comes out, you hold your position. I know he'd like to have passed him, but that would not be fair.
We're doing the left front. That front smoked a little bit.
Smoke out of Ron Hornaday's car. What happened there?
Well, I don't know. I don't see anything rubbing. It looks like it's coming out from under the rear end there.
Ricky Hendrick, his shoulder on the mend. So Hornaday doing relief duty there. 5 car. There it goes.
The 98 car, he had trouble in practice and wrecked his car. And I think that's a backup car, isn't it, Larry?
I think they actually tried to fix the other car. Yeah, they did fix it.
Oh, he's all the way down on the apron. The 98 is. Slides back up on the racetrack in order to keep out of the 16 car there. He just spins it around.
It's Chad Chafin in the 16 car. Just can't get too far down on that curve.
Oh,
they're all going to pile up over here trying to get rolled up.
Right in front of the leaders.
Michael spun. Caution is out at lap 65. For Brian Vickers' spin in turn 2.
Jeff Purvis in the 37 car. He's all the way down on the apron trying to get his lap back. That's legal. I believe he's going to do it.
Oh, he's going to. Yeah, he is. He's going to make it.
Okay, you got it. Good job.
He was all the way against the infield.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to pick up so much debris on his tires that he wouldn't be able to come on forward, but he made it. All that loose rubber and stuff gets on those hot tires, and it's just like having 4 flat tires.
Puts us under the 4th caution.
Look at all this stuff. I mean, we've run 50 laps. They blew this track before the race started. All this is just debris and rubber off of the tires.
And during this caution period, Darrell, they're going to get the blowers out again.
It's incredible how much rubber and debris collects there in just a short period of time. And it keeps you from using the outside lane. You get up there and, like I said, you got hot tires. That stuff sticks to your tires, and it's like they're all flat.
And even though we ran 66 laps, I still don't expect to see anybody to pit road because we've ran about 35 of those under caution.
Here's another look. Ooh, a little help.
Yes. And that's what they can see, just what we can see.
Yeah, Hank Jr. looked like got into, and again, did the Brian Vickers. From Ashton Lewis.
Nice job, man. Nice job. Keep digging. Come on.
Right here, he just stomped this car. Watch this. It goes up on that, back in the back right there. That 27 car climbed up on top of the 2 car.
See, Butch Miller's 3 or 4 car lengths behind it. He got hit in the back and got turned around as well.
When I looked up at 27, was about to turn over.
And then somebody got in the back of Butch Miller, somebody who didn't see the accident as quickly as Miller did, and there it's the 16, Chad Chaffin, that turns Miller around.
Well, the spotters all holler, slow down, caution, caution. You slow down and get hit from behind.
Here we go. Off this racetrack.
Kerry Earnhardt has caught the 77.
This This could be really big.
Come on, we'll beat that leader. Come on.
People trying to get their lap back. What a mess.
I've never seen it. This is the wildest race I've ever seen in Bristol. And I've seen a lot of races here.
Hank Parker Jr. got into that one. He had made a pit stop for fuel just at the end of the last caution, and now he's got a lot of right front damage on Hank Jr.'s car.
These guys are running over each other every which way they turn.
There's a little bit of a rub on.
Do not do nothing to the right rear tire. Just leave the car alone. Put the 4 new tires on.
Listening to Kenny Wallace.
And we're 83 laps into this run right here. A lot of it's been under caution, but if they pitted here, you could go to the end, and I'm not sure I would get in there and be done with it.
I'm coming in right now. The only problem I got is all this traffic I'm going to have to deal with, and that's where all the trouble is.
Gary Earnhardt got underneath the 77 of Andy Kirby. Around she went.
And around and around. Got hooked together. Tried to loan him $1.
And here's what happened to Jimmy Spencer. Get under. There's the 63. Spencer almost got it around sideways, trying to get underneath him.
Lost his momentum. And
then Riggs booted the back of one around. That's the 19 of Tim Sauter. He got sent into the fence, and caution will come out again. You were saying?
Yeah.
No, Darrell was saying this is the longest run we've had.
Well, it still is. It just holds me.
A couple cars trying to get a lap back, and Jeff Purvis, I think, came up short that time.
Yeah, even when the caution comes out, excitement don't stop for about another minute.
They just keep on coming. I can't tell whether they're going into pits, coming out of the pit, they're on the apron, they're everywhere.
Purvis did not quite make it past race leader Mike McLaughlin. The 19 up into the wall at turn 2, Tim Sauter. I didn't see who put him there, but he got special delivered into the wall, back in first.
And Darrell,
should we just cue up TROUVLE again? What do you think?
Darrell, here's a replay of this, what happened over there.
Yeah, he got turned around by the 66 car.
Casey Mears. And this is the strategy you hate as a crew chief. Now, Mike McLaughlin, we're at lap 100. But it's
everybody is in it with Jack Sprague.
And caution is on the speedway again. That flag was about to change.
And guess who else is in it?
Not again.
Hadn't missed one yet.
Yeah, the leader's already taken the caution. Jeff Purvis in the 37 thought he was going to try to get a lap back, but they had already taken the caution flag.
Now that is a tough break for Joe Buford, who also was on the long run strategy and had been running in the top 10. He got caught up in that with Jack Sprague.
Well, I said this once before and got in trouble, but I'm going to say it again. 3 strikes and you're out. I mean, if you're in 3 wrecks.
Now, Buford had bounced off the wall, and that kind of caught everybody else up back behind him. And Jack Sprague just got there before he could change direction.
You know, guys, I know it's a 250-lap race, and these cars can run 180 laps on fuel, but I guess enough caution laps, 3 cautions in the green, you make it go the distance.
I believe he could make it.
Here we are. Watch the black car of Buford.
Sprague, I believe, in the
Sprague shoved up into him. That's who it was, yeah. Sprague shoved up into the 49 Buford and turned him around.
You mentioned Jeff Bird. Here Sprague comes in and runs this place. He should be a happy guy. Most sporting events in America would be thrilled with this crowd. 110,000 people are here today.
Wow. Tony Raines spins, gets in the back of Johnny Sauter. He has to feel like he has a bullseye on that car. Hands out.
Caution's out.
McLaughlin slowed down. Don't pull up in front of those guys.
He's digging, Stanford.
All right, Purvis is going to get one of his laps back now.
Oh, well, he's got a great chance of getting all those laps back because there's going to be enough cautions that you get a shot at it all the time.
We're lap 117. We've ran 51 laps under caution.
I see the 2 car over there of Johnny Sauter. He's got some smoke, like he got some damage that time.
Yeah, he got into it pretty heavy there, Darrell.
There you see Tony Raines in the 33 just spinning because he's trying to avoid Scott Whipper 23 and just clipped Johnny Sauter in the 2.
Let's watch from Johnny Sauter's onboard camera. Shane Hill alongside.
Oh, yeah, he hit the 33. That's what got him around, and the 33 got him again.
Outside. Come on around. Come on.
Mike Dillon, his spotter, he's been one of the busiest guys here today as well.
Well, let's see. The last wreck took the left rear quarter off of Saunders' car.
That thing is, look at that thing.
It has the Bristol look to it.
It's like a demolition car. He's not out of it yet, as long as it'll roll.
What's that thing Humpy had? Carasaurus? Carasaurus looks like it's eating that and spit it out.
Look at that thing.
It's a wild one here in fall turn 2, Andy Kirby.
No caution. Boy, he's in a bad spot over there, right on the back straightaway.
And Spencer against the wall.
I think there's some
turn 4.
There might be some fluid down there.
Caution should come out.
Yeah, now it's out.
No, caution is out. Okay, you beat the leader.
Nobody gets a lap back.
You say the right front's down?
Bam. That looks like something happened. Obviously, something happened to that 77 car.
Now.
He'll be doing some more body.
Whoa!
Yep.
Oh, hang on, Casey.
Oh, I almost saved it.
Caution's on the speedway.
Here's a car spinning around, and guess who it is?
63.
Get you 4 tires.
Lap 147, Casey Mears trying to make a pass, runs out of racetrack and slides up to the turn 2 wall. That's what's put us under caution. 63 Ken Alexander coming around into turn number 1.
Well, he got
his car afterward.
He got that nose in there, and this is one of those places where you just aren't sure if Shane Mill's going to give me room or not. If you keep going, you're going to take both cars out. You start trying to check up. You lose control, and up into the pit you go.
We always talk about give and take. There's not enough time here to almost give and take.
Now, Darrell, looks like he's almost going to save this thing. Does he just overcorrect?
Should have just spun it.
Right there.
Obviously, now he should have just spun it on out. Because it whoops around on you. So you carry a lot more speed there than it looks like on TV.
And here's Johnny Sauter right in the middle of it again.
No. There you go. Come on.
Johnny Sauter has not been in. He's in a great view of all day long.
Right.
Sure has.
And Ken Alexander gets an assist from Jack Sprague.
Keep going.
Tough day for Alexander. That one, not his fault.
Shane Mill was lucky.
Yes, he was.
And the caution counter stands at 10. We'll be back. Biffle turns McMurray around, and he saves it.
No caution.
Wow.
These guys are getting good now. They can spin around, keep going. They've had enough practice.
Well, we stay green.
It's the second time I think McMurray's been involved in something.
Yeah, he was in the first one at lap 8.
Jeff Green, 75 laps to go. 1.8 second lead. Flat Stanley, hang on, baby.
Whoa.
Yep.
I think he's trying to get out of the way. Nice try.
Just barely hits that inside wall.
Right in front of the leader.
Oh.
Other leaders.
Caution is out.
We're on a record-setting day here at Bristol, folks.
We've had 11 cautions.
For cautions.
The record is 14 here in the Channel Lock 250. Casey Kane going around at turn 2 as a result of casual contact.
How many races has Casey Kane been in here at Bristol? This is his first one.
First one.
That's Robert Yates' car. He's finding Thunder Valley not to his liking.
Well, does anybody pit? If you're on the lead lap, Larry.
With the 70 laps to go, what we have to remember is guys that pitted that last caution lap, as Dick Bergen alluded to, they cannot change any more tires on the caution. You only have 2 sets. But I think Jeff Green, Kevin Grubb, Scott Wimmer, they have made their bed. They must lay in it. I don't think you can give up that position.
Don't even talk about it.
Let's have another look at what happened here. Turn 2.
He just got in there a little too hard. Got the thing back in, came around a little bit, and he tried to save it, and he couldn't, and it just came on around, smacked the outside wall, came right down in front of the leader.
We've watched him. He's been a little bit loose all day long.
Kevin LePage does a nice job to miss him there.
Well, thank the Lord that apron is that wide and flat down there. A lot of room.
show you this in real time. Been a busy day here at Bristol in Thunder Valley. The parts guys are doing a great business. We'll be right back. Buford and Ashton Lewis.
Butch Miller. Oh, man, the 2-car almost got it again.
How would you ever know if he got it again?
Well, he would have gotten it then if the car hadn't been narrowed up, but it was so narrow he slid through.
Not sure who started that wreck, but Buford got the worst of it. Nashville driver driving what is now appropriately termed the Rent-A-Wreck Ford. Dick Bergman.
With Tony Lambert, crew chief for Kevin Grubb. Can you guys really win this thing?
To the black car of Joe Buford and the rest of this group.
Oh, looks like Ashton Lewis got into him. Going down into 3. They both go around.
Basically the same thing that happened to Casey Mears and Shane Mill earlier.
Right.
Perfectly timed spin there, and the 5-car goes by.
Butch Miller got turned around. Let's ride with Ashton Lewis. Did he stick his nose in where it didn't belong and that hole close up? Just run out of racetrack.
This is typical Bristol. You come down here, you get a run on the guy, you hope he gives you room. If he doesn't, that's the result.
And who has a bird's eye view again? Come on, Johnny Sauter.
Correct, 1 into 3. Back it down. Come low, all the way to the bottom. All right, what's back up? Come on, come on.
Caution today.
There you go, you're good. Come on.
I'm pretty sure he pitted again. Maybe they got low air and they haven't picked it up yet.
Around goes the 54. Grubb, the second place car.
No.
Couldn't save it. Now he's still on the lead lap.
Get your gear, let's go, bud.
No caution yet. No caution.
Still on the lead lap.
Stay on the bottom.
Oh, what a shame. He's about half a straightaway.
2-car again.
Oh.
Now, he was having a terrible time. I don't know. Oh, my goodness.
They just split him down here. Caution is on the speedway this time.
Big break for Kevin Grubb. Tough break for Johnny Sauter. That used up whatever was left of the number 2 car.
I don't know what his problem was, but he was struggling there.
75, it is in the rear.
Oh, that could have been it.
75, Butch Miller.
I wouldn't count him out. He didn't look a whole lot worse than that before that happened.
Make it a slow count. All right, first, let's show you what happened
We may have to go back to the truck.
to Kevin Grubb. By himself, the yellow car in second place.
He just got in there a little hard. He just drove in a little too deep. Car comes around on him.
And you know, a lot of times, Darrell, if you use a little too much brake getting in the corner here, that will make a car loose because you have so much front brake over the rear brake.
Or maybe she bottomed out just a teeny bit with it. Now, here's the 75, going down in the corner, and he just clips the back of the Sauter's car, and around he goes. That's a pretty hard lick there. That's a tough car, though. That sucker's still going.
Ooh.
Wow.
That was a hard lick.
Well, let's see. We've had 13 caution flags. Where will these cars end up at the end of the day? Maybe here. Maybe not. We're under caution for the 1 shy of a record time here at Bristol. We'll be right back.
Ken Alexander gets him back to Stacy Compton.
I believe Ken Alexander may have finally killed that thing.
Kevin Harvick has just destroyed the front of that car.
He got a little nudge. He got a little nudge from behind, and it just lost control of the car, and it turned dead right into the fence.
Well, he and Biffle had been racing nose to tail for 5th place.
And that thing is, look at it, the right front is shoved under the dashboard. That's a pretty hard lick.
I think Harvick is okay. He'll race tomorrow as we bring you the Food City 500 on Fox.
I'm not going to be very happy, I bet you.
Well, his day is done. There was also 2 cars got together off turn 2 at the same time. We had this caution.
Somebody gets into the back of him here.
Boots him. Biffle.
Biffle in the 60 car.
Yikes.
Let's ride with Stanley as we flatten Harvick's car.
Whoops. Just got back in the throttle a little harder than Harvick did and got into the back of him.
Now, at turn 2 at the same time, Shane Meal got into the side. Was that Todd Bodine?
Couldn't tell.
And we look like we may be getting a red flag here with about 9 laps to go.
So Harvick, okay, having to walk over the pit wall and walking into Greg Biffle's pit.
Talking to Randy Goss, it's Biffle's crew chief.
Not about the weather.
No.
So this race has been red flagged so that the fluid debris from and the remains of Kevin Harvick's car can be removed. And then they'll restart it.
And you know, Darrell, if I'm Jeff Green in the 21 and I'm sitting there with these 150-something laps on my tires, these tires are liking this little cool down period right here.
Yes, they are.
The caution came out before we go back racing. I believe I'd like to see this just to get my tires cooled down, because Spencer is on much better fresh tires.
Well, E.T. will have to walk home. Dick Berggren?
Kevin Harvick, what happened out there?
Well, you know, our car was a little bit tight, and we were just trying to make it to the end, and we were catching the 18 and the 23. And, you know, I always said Greg Biffle was a good guy, but he's about the most impatient thing. I'll be waiting when he comes in here.
Very unhappy. Very, very unhappy.
Here we go. Wreck it, turn 2. The 38 goes around.
Mark Green.
Now,
whoa, white flag.
Flag. They got to run to the checker. This is it. The white's out. Here they come. Spencer underneath Jeff Green. It's a drag race.
All kinds of lap traffic back there.
Here comes the 18 car up on the outside. Spencer's going to come back down.
On the apron.
Oh, he shouldn't have done that.
No, he gave up 2 or 3 positions and turned Jack Sprague hard into the inside wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Jeff Green wins it. And on the last lap, we set a wreck. The wreck first. Watch 38 Mark Green and Kevin Grubb.
Green just tried to get under him and there wasn't enough room. Now he starts down the track. Boom. Oh. Then coming to the green, or coming to the checker. That's right in the driver's door.
Say hit so hard even bent the roof.
Now here, let's look at the last lap once again, because once that caution's out in turn 2, when the white flag waves, you got to race back to the flag.
They're both on the flat because there's red cars up there. Split the lap car. Now Spencer's probably picking up a lot of trash on his tires. He's going to try him one more time down there on the apron. Probably shouldn't have done that. Jack Sprague's in the way. Round Sprague goes.
He actually lost 2 positions because Scott Wimmer even got by him as well for 3rd.
Now Sprague, after that wreck, is out of his car and he is running toward Jimmy Spencer's car. As are now a bunch of NASCAR officials running to intercept him. I think, as you said it, Spencer was coming and Sprague, the lap car, was in his way.
Here we go.
And this is Kevin Harvick going after Greg Biffle. Well, that's a shame, but you have seen how fenders and tempers can fly here at Bristol. Jeff Green has won, and he is probably the only happy driver in the whole place.
Hey, Bristol always does it. I've always said, when you come in the front stretch out there in the gate, you better leave your feelings outside.
Coming down.
Everybody missed it. 34, Stuart Kirby.
My. Making his first Busch start.
As I looked up, I think he got into the corner on the outside over there, and it's just not a good place to be.
And his Busch Series debut lasts 1 mile.
That's Jimmy Spencer's car. Jimmy's the owner of the car. As I said, Larry Carter's the crew chief. I'd like to have seen him had a better day than this.
Plan on running about 16, 17 races the rest of this year. And Frank Cece, who used to be with the Cece Welliver team, Casey Mears, and that group, he's actually the team manager for this race team now.
Cece was the owner when Spencer won the modified championship twice.
See, he's on the outside there. I got a good idea that he may have run in there, and the cars in front of him were slowing down. He had to move out just a little bit, and when he did, he got it. You know, there's just no grip in the upper groove right now. All these cars that have been on this racetrack have all been right around the bottom or right on the white line, and so there's not much grip anywhere else.
If you get just a half.
Oh, trouble down here. Who is that? Is that the 26
It
already?
is. Amick.
Oh, no. A car just turned down. One car just turned over. It's upside down on the back straightaway.
It's Michael.
Holy cow. What is he doing?
He slammed into Amick, Darrell, and that flip turned the car right over. Look at how he hit him with the right front.
Well, he needs to get out of there. Come on, buddy. Get that fire extinguisher up here.
You okay, Michael?
Lyndon Amick spun between turns 1 and 2, and sliding down the racetrack was collected by Michael Waltrip.
Well, he's such a, Michael is 6'5", he weighs about 230. It's hard for him to, he can't just jump out of the race car. But I think I see him down there. I think I see him in there moving around.
Yeah, he was moving around. The picture froze because of damage done to the in-car camera mechanism by the flip. The antenna is buried against the asphalt. So all we saw was a couple of stills, but it did indicate that he is moving in the car.
You saw real quickly on the side of his seat, LaJoy's seat. That's a seat that is designed by Randy LaJoy. We talk a lot about Jeff Burton playing a role in safety for drivers. Randy LaJoy been doing this with the seats for a long time.
Now, I've been in there like that, and you want to cut the seatbelt loose, or you want to undo the seatbelt, but if you do, you fall down on your head, so you got to be, you can see he's trying to move around in there and get himself in a position to get out. But with all those headrests and the Hans device and everything else, upside down is not a good place to be.
Michael Waltrip had a wreck at Bristol, Tennessee, where there was not much left of the car. He's fine.
He's just,
wow. Thank goodness.
But he's okay. Yeah, I see him now.
Could be that some of that fire extinguisher powder, you know, he looks like he's
looking to see what. No, how's my car?
Yeah.
He's fine, Darrell. When you start looking, how's my car? He's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the first.
Now remember,
even when you're hurt, you always want to know how the car is.
Remember, he's the driver and owner of that car.
Let's see if we can see. Well, I know what started all this. 26 car back here. He gets around on his own. People start taking evasive action. He's coming down the hill. All of a sudden, here comes Michael
right there. Just
there it goes.
Over the left front. Catapults him upside down.
Just turned him right over. Several cars involved. See the 26 car get around right there.
And everybody's trying to crowd down to the bottom.
Knowing he's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack.
The 54 car.
Yeah, Kevin Grubb is involved. So is Casey Kane.
Yates's car, Casey Kane, 98.
Now from Johnny Sauter's car.
Oh yeah, the 26 just gets around backwards.
Let's ride with Lyndon Amick.
Boy, that thing had no warning.
You see Michael go by right there. Yeah. Oh, man. Linda Namick taking a couple of hard shots.
Yeah, that old Dr. Pepper car was getting hit from all angles.
Yeah, at 10, 2, and 4.
It was so crowded there, right where Michael was. There was cars inside, outside. Tried to cut down under Amick and got up on his left front, went up over his left front wheel and just flipped him upside down.
Michael was headed down lower, and the 54 car shot him back up the racetrack. That's when he drove across the left front of Linda Namick's car.
2 years ago, he took a bad tumble at Daytona and flipped from the tri-oval all the way down to turn 1. Now, Matt Kenseth is one of the cars that has made a pit stop under this caution. Dick?
Well, he actually made 2 pit stops under this caution, one of which was before this. Now, the second caution came out for Michael Waltrip's crash. He came back in again. Problem was he felt the vibration. The vibration was the left front wheel was not properly on the car, so he had to come back in again. They fixed it. They were worried about the brakes. When he left, he said he thinks that the brakes are okay.
Thanks, Dick. Jack Spray continues to lead Joe Nemechek and Scott Riggs from Kevin Harvick. Wow. More NASCAR Busch Series on Fox after this. As our boat sinks slowly in the west and the sun drifts away from the shore. Night falls in Texas, but we're still racing. Casey Kane spun coming out of turn number 4 to bring out this 4th caution of the evening.
I think he was trying to get on pit lane, looked like, and he just was going way too fast. He gets her woed up right here. It's already been in an accident. He almost misses the end of pit lane.
Of course, you're trying to get down to 45 miles an hour before you get to those clocking segments, just way too fast.
And that's why we're under caution, because he is out in the drink without a life preserver. Can't get out of the grass.
Start from near the rear of the field, because there he is in that number 60 car. He bobbles there, qualifying into the wall hard. Greg Biffle will start from the 37th position here today at the Nashville Super Speedway. There you see the damage to the right side of that number 60 car. They rolled it into the garage, rolled the backup off the trailer, and that's why Greg Biffle will start from the rear of the field. Trouble, the 95 car. Stedman Marlin in trouble. Everybody seems to make it by. Don't know if Stedman hit anything, but caution will come out.
They still have not thrown the caution yet, though. They're going to give him a chance to get going there. I believe we're going to stay green.
I stand corrected. They are going to stay green. Larry, understand the black flag is being shown to the 34 car. Jason White for being too slow. We have a replay here of Marlin underneath the 60.
Well, he's down there in the bottom. Looked like his car got a little bit loose, and being on the inside of that car, that makes the tail of the car want to come around and even make you looser, and it just comes around on. Real lucky, Stacy Compton just gets through.
Under caution for the second time today, Greg Biffle. We watched him charge from the back. He has made heavy contact with the wall on the front stretch. There you see the number 60. Heavy damage to the left side. Let's go to Mark Garrow.
Just before that accident, Greg Biffle's crew chief had radioed into him, or Biffle had said the car's too tight. Let's go to Matt.
And the 57 car, his crew is already on the left side. He's a little bit tight in the center of the corner, but he told his crew chief, Steve Addington, don't loosen me up too much because it will hurt me on entry. And he beats the 24 car off pit road, but he will not beat everyone off pit road.
All right, now let's take a look at what happened to Greg Biffle in that 60 car. That's LaJoie in the 7, the 46 Ashton Lewis just behind them.
Well, just like he slid up in front of Randy LaJoie, got loose. Randy may have got in back of him just a little bit, hard into that outside wall right here at the start-finish line.
Let's take a look from the in-car.
You watch his hands. Watch his hands. That'll tell the tale. There you see, turning back right, chasing it. Turn it hard to the right. Working that wheel, but oh, hard in the wall.
There's a caution out for the second time today for Greg Biffle. And we have
caution again. Ashton Lewis in the number 46 car. Lap 79, caution flies for the 3rd time. So Greg Biffle not the only one having a tough day. And Larry, Ashton Lewis, we see smoke on the left side, and the right side. He had moved up into the top 10 for a while.
Yes, and he was able to stay on the lead lap, but they've got to come to pit road. A lot of damage on that race car, and the big thing, problem right now, going around here trying to get caught up to the fields, that right front tire rubbing so hard, could blow out.
Let's see what happened, Larry Mack.
He's going through 3 and 4. It's like he got a little help from...
looks like the 36 of Hank Parker Jr.
Hank Parker Jr. Slides around, almost corrected. He's going to turn back hard there, hard in the outside wall. A lot of damage to that front end. Again, what his goal is right here, right now, is trying to stay on that lead lap, get to pit road, see if they can get repairs made and stay on the lead lap. But that's gonna be quite a chore. As much damage as he has to that front end.
Yeah, tough break for Ashton Lewis, as you see there. One top 10 finish this season. He finished 8th at Rockingham, had a good run going. You see the Civil Air Patrol, the sponsor on that 46 car. Larry, that's a family-run team. His brother Charlie is a crew chief. His dad's involved with the team. This sponsor helped these guys tremendously. And we've got a car in the wall in turn 4. Oh, Hank Parker Jr. is having a great run to 36.
And caution is on the speedway, and this is really not a very good break for people like Todd Bodine, those guys making these green flag stops, because they are going to be a lap down.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. comes back around to receive the yellow flag. 4th caution this afternoon, coming on lap 132. Hank Parker Jr. in the wall in turn 4. A lot of damage, Larry. You just mentioned he was one of 2 Dodges in the field.
Yeah, this is only 2 Dodges. Dodge coming into the Busch Series for the first time this year, just like they joined Winston Cup. And Casey Mears, his teammate, Hank Parker Jr., running the Dodges in the full Busch Series this year. Yeah, there's a lot of damage to that race car.
Traffic, and we've got one on the wall.
That's 73. That's Jason Schuler. He had actually moved up into the 7th position. What a shame.
Oh, that's too bad.
Good run. Drove Matt Kenseth's car at a few races last year, the 17 car.
His first start this year, 2002 season.
It worked some pit strategy and worked themselves up into the top 10 after starting in 32nd position. And he's going to go straight to the garage. But this is the break that Kenny Wallace in the 48. Jay Sauter in the 21, Tony Raines, and Shane Stock.
Well, Larry, as he came down pit road, he had a cut left rear tire.
All right, thanks, Matt. And Todd Bodine spins out.
And the caution is out. And what a terrible break for Bobby Hamilton Jr., because he was a lap and a half down. Here he was up there running in the 2nd, 3rd spot. Came to pit road. He could go the distance from here should it stay green, but the caution comes out, and he's going to be a lap down.
6th caution of the afternoon.
And I think it's pretty safe to say that all of our leaders will be to pit road, because we're here at lap 164. That puts us about 10 laps into the window. They can go the distance should they pit here for fuel and tires.
Let's see what happened to Todd Bodine in the 92.
Just gets real loose off of turn 2. Nobody really behind him. Jason Keller several car lengths behind him. Boy, Jason Keller just barely gets by. Wow. But Todd just getting loose. Rear end comes around as he's on the throttle coming off turn 2.
Larry, might there have been some damage to a tire or something else from that contact with Bobby?
Very well could have. He could have had a right front going down or a right rear going down. There you see everything looks good right there. You'll see the tail start to come around right here. He's not out of the groove. He's in the racing groove, just comes around with him very well. And it may have not been where the tire was cut down. It could have had a slow leak and We've got a car in the wall. Turn 2. Casey Mears involved as well. Spins around in the 66 car. He'd been up there running in the top 10.
Yeah, he had gotten as high as 6th at one point this afternoon, Larry. And Dan Pardis in the 32.
And caution is on the speedway. Now, again, if Jay Sauter and Butch Hilton is crew chief, they're trying to do a fuel mileage deal. It looks like Mike McLaughlin in 18. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 25 definitely got his lap back. I'm not sure about Mike McLaughlin. I think the leader took the caution before. But if these cautions will help the fuel mileage. And you don't use near as much fuel on the caution.
And Larry, you've talked about the formula. It's kind of is 2-1. Is that an accurate assessment?
At a racetrack like this, a mile and a third, I always figure 2 caution laps equals 1 green flag lap.
Heavy damage to the rear of Dan Pardis's number 32 car.
And they've determined that Mike McLaughlin in the 18 did not make his lap back up. The leader took the caution. Jay Sauter took the caution at the start-finish line before the 18 got by.
I love watching these crew chiefs take a gamble, Larry. I mean, I know it doesn't always pan out, but Terry Shirley did it last week at Texas, gave Jeff Purvis a win. And who knows, with more caution laps, maybe Jay Sauter can stretch it.
Well, as close as the competition is, if you just do what the leader does, you're going to be behind the leader all the time. So, yeah, I mean, I like seeing them roll the dice. I know some of the most rewarding times I had is when I played a little bit of a gamble and maybe didn't win the race, but it made a difference in a lot better finishing position at the end of the day. But you can always be a hero, or you can always be a zero.
But Larry McReynolds was a hero much more.
But I was a zero a few times.
I don't know. I don't believe it. Well, we're going to find out if Jay Sauter and Butch Hilton's gamble.
Race, Jay Sauter, everything's going fine. You think you're in the right place, doing a good job. All of a sudden, a bunch of cars go by you on the outside.
And you're still wide open.
Say, roll, what?
Whoa, trouble.
Boy,
the 2-car upside down, over and on to Scott Riggs.
It's the big one.
Oh, boy, who is that still flipping?
Sauter. It was Johnny Sauter.
There's not anybody left.
I mean, I only see about 4 or 5 cars that are coming around through 3 and 4 right now that were not in this race. They see Mike McLaughlin in 18. They're still getting upside down. Cars driving under cars. There has to be 25 cars over there.
Comes Michael Waltrip. Damaged Lyndon Amick. And you see the 2 of Johnny Sauter.
Here comes
Scott Riggs, last week's winner.
Here comes our leader, Stacy Compton.
Jason Keller, Kenny Wallace,
Kevin Grubb, who has come from 38th up to the top 5.
Todd go down with damage.
Little
damage, not much.
Jeff Purvis.
Drivers climbing out. There is Ron Hornaday.
Look at that.
Going over toward Jamie McMurray.
Shane Mill in the 47 car.
Youngest driver in the race,
Joe
age
Nemechek.
21. Nemechek wrecked.
What a mess.
Coy Gibbs out of his car, and his teammate Mike McLaughlin is the car that landed on top of him. Kind of reminiscent of a big Daytona wreck. Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte ended up that way.
I don't know if I've ever seen a wreck this big in a Busch Series race here. I don't know if I've seen a wreck this big, maybe even in a Cup event.
One time here, and back in the 70s, Tiny Lund was in it, a lot of other guys. And
23 cars, that
23
one, I think.
cars, yeah.
Jimmy Spencer, mangled nose on his car. You saw Kerry Earnhardt's damage.
The problem we have with the racing at Daytona and Talladega is this. You cannot have a single or even a couple of car incident. You run 43 cars on top of each other, you're going to have a big wreck.
Randy LaJoie. There's Nemechek. He is okay. We also saw Ron Hornaday walking away. And we'll update you as we get news on the other drivers. They're assisting Mike McLaughlin out of his car. Mike is climbing out. He's okay. Watch the 2 car.
What caused this?
Oh, Meal got into Riggs.
It looked like Riggs had to maybe back out of the throttle a little bit because Kenny Wallace's car washed up as they come off the exit of turn 2 right there, the 48 car. Right here, this is turn 2. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like Shane Meal possibly just got into the back of the 10 car.
The 47 car, yeah.
Yeah, got into Riggs. Look at that 2 flipping. Looks like Rusty Wallace's flip in the number 2 Winston Cup car here not many years ago.
And when they hit the grass, it even tumbled more. There's Randy LaJoie. Greg Biffle.
Oh, Biffle.
There's
Jay
Sauter. Kerry Earnhardt.
There's everybody. Jack
Sprague, our point leader.
And the track's completely
Tim Sauter. All the Sauters.
I think we did the right thing by saying who wasn't in it.
And because the track's blocked, NASCAR has displayed the red flag because the cars can't even get through on the back stretch.
It appears to me maybe 10 or 12 cars is all that's left. Boy, that 2 car went over big time and then gets hit, tumbles. That car's, look at that thing, Larry. It's turning every which way.
And then the 21.
And then he gets in the grass. Watch this.
Shot across.
Gets hit again.
Johnny Sauter, number 2, out of his car and okay.
Amazing.
There's Riggs sideways, and He was pretty close up to the wall, Darrell. I guess you don't know if he lost his momentum in his forward bite or if Meal just got into him.
Yeah,
there's no way to tell.
Say. You come off that corner and you can get a really run on a guy in front of you, and you think something happened to him, even though maybe it didn't.
And I stand corrected. It did not look like Kenny Wallace's car moved up the racetrack for that shot right there
I think
at all.
the 47 got into the back of the 10 for whatever reason.
You like lucky numbers? 13 cars made it back to the start-finish line.
Happened in 1992. I can remember had a big wreck off of turn 2. They always seem to happen off of turn 2, the big ones.
Wow. Looking at a Linda Namath's car.
Michael Waltrip. Kenny Wallace.
What a mess.
And there, as Larry explained, you saw Kenny move up the racetrack without any contact with Scott Riggs there before this started. There's Randy LaJoie. He's okay.
Jamie McMurray, the 27.
Scott Riggs.
About a $500 million worth of race cars.
Ron Hornaday. Now, because we're under a red flag condition, any of these cars that do make it back cannot be worked on. There's the 44 Mike Harmon. They can't touch these cars until the red flag is withdrawn and the track goes back under a yellow flag condition. They can look at it. They can't touch it. We're under a caution for a wreck on the back straightaway, triggered by Shane Meal's contact with Scott Riggs, and it ends up involving most of the field. We'll be right back.
Cautious. Oh, there's a car up into the wall already.
Christian Elder, the 38 car. Caution is on the speedway.
Everybody else makes it to the line without incident.
It looked like I didn't see any contact. Looked like he just got in through third turnover and got a little bit high. Got up in that gray area where it's still dirty and sandy, and the car came around on him.
So caution out at lap 1. For Christian Elder's crash at turn 3, or up in the middle of 3 and 4.
Now, Larry, if I'm at the back of the pack, Jimmy Spencer, a couple, 3 of those guys back there that had to go to the rear, 10 car, I'd be coming
In to top off that fuel tank.
Oh, boy.
That was a hard lick right there.
It really was. This track is deceiving. I mean, you're going very fast here.
So it's an early call. Days ago, upgraded to satisfactory condition today. Trouble out of turn 2.
Caution is out.
Andy Kirby. Saying Roush upgraded to satisfactory, and they may be able to release him from the hospital and send him home sometime this week.
This caution may benefit Greg Biffle to be able to cool that car down, but who this caution really benefits is Jeff Burton. Makes up that 9-second deficit that he was behind our leader.
That piece of paper may be what was making him so fast, too. You know, it's like taping that grill up. Pull that off, he might slow down a little bit. Of course, if they don't pull it off, he's going to blow up. So he kind of caught between a rock and a hard place.
Second caution of the day. The first came out at lap 1 for Christian Elder, getting up into the wall at turn 3. And when the pits are open, Greg Biffle should lead them around. There's a flat left rear on the 49 of Andy Kirby to bring out this caution.
I would say definitely that all of our leaders will be to pit road for 4 tires full of fuel. The thing about it, we're on lap 43. We have about 107 laps to go. Very borderline for a lot of the teams to be able to do it on one stop from here. But like a while ago, if I'm at the back of the field when we get the 1 to go, I'm going to come in and top that fuel tank off.
Sure. Oh, getting a little help over here.
Todd Bodine in the 92.
Todd said his car wasn't handling very good. It handled right up into the side of that one.
We had gotten a report that he had been real loose all the way around the racetrack.
From Johnny Sauter's in-car.
This is going to be exciting right here.
Oh, wow. Well, as unlucky as he was last week.
Swerving at about 170 miles an hour.
Fixing to get busy on pit road.
Oh, trouble. Turn 4.
Oh, too far. Man,
Johnny Sauter.
He knocked fire out of that fence.
Everybody else got past, but Sauter will bring out the 3rd caution flag of the day. A hard hit.
Somebody got into it, but I couldn't tell who. They're saying the 92 car. I heard his spotter tell me 92 car.
Okay, Johnny.
That'd be Todd Bodine.
I tell you, he's got the breath knocked out of him. That was a hard lick right on the left front. He gets hooked and gets turned up into the fence. Oops. Man, just that little. Oh, wow. Oh. Man,
those speeds, it just don't take much of a bump.
And that thud, that's such a hard lick. Everybody does a great job of missing this because he's driver's side. I mean, he couldn't have taken another lick in his left side.
And for some of those cars, it's a tough choice. You know he's going to move down the racetrack. You just don't know how fast he's going to move down the racetrack.
But I tell you, Larry, that was a tough lick.
Here's another look. Third caution of the day. It comes out at lap 49 for Johnny Sauter, who was the featured performer last week on lap 15. Watch his number 2 car right there.
And the car's just flopping around. And Larry, he told you he wasn't sore, he didn't hurt anywhere. But folks, I'm going to tell you, when he gets out of that car down there today, he's going to be sore all over.
I was going to say, that crash looks much more devastating than the crash we just saw in turn 4. But trust me, that turn 4 wreck is a lot harder wreck than what he had at Talladega.
Oh, yeah, it's such a sudden stop.
There is Johnny walking toward the ambulance for the mandatory ride to the care center, and obviously he is okay. And that's great news, because that looked like a bad one.
Sounded like a bad one, too.
Third caution of the afternoon. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on Fox.
You really think that's a good idea?
Let's listen up here.
Inside, there you go. You cleared it all. Keep digging.
Spidey sense helped Linda Amick get through there.
You know where to keep digging. Here
they come.
It's happening in a hurry.
I bet he wouldn't be talking like that if it was his car spinning around instead of the other one. Good job of missing it.
See the roof flaps come up there and set that car back down on the ground. He spins back around that way. They go back down. Darryl, you got to work with me. I want you up in that clean air.
I know,
that clean racetrack. We've only ran.
Where Jack Sprague. Whoa! Oh, Chapin pounded the wall.
Man, he did. That was first.
10 laps to go. It'll be 9 when they come back. Riggs is going to lead him around.
The deal is made or not. Is he going to let him have it back?
Not going to happen.
No, caution is out.
Yes, he is.
He did get it back.
Whoa.
He did get it back.
Did you see what he did? The nose of that car about hit the ground. I think he almost forgot.
That's what it looked like, Darryl.
Yeah, like you forgot, and then he slammed the brakes on because the nose of that car was right down on the ground. And would I do that now? Yes, I would.
No, here's another idea, Darryl. I think his spotter was watching he and Burton
didn't see, and they didn't know that the crash was there until the caution came out, and then it's Scott, stand on the brake.
But another factor, he did it right at the last minute. He could look in that mirror and see that 21 car coming too.
Yeah, see, I would give Burton his lap back here. Now, any other time during the race, I wouldn't. But where's he going to restart?
Looking at the replay, Larry's absolutely right. Give it the lap back, but don't do it to the last second, or you could lose the lead.
21 too soon. The 21 raced him back and beat him to the start-finish line.
But the deal, there had to have been a deal made, and I think that he had to live up to it. I mean, I think he'd have really been in trouble with that guy right there.
Thing at all.
I'm a 26.
I'm not a big fan of doing that, but in this case, I think it's the right thing to do.
You're absolutely right. That's why you two are the experts. There goes Chapin.
Totally by himself. But boy, he hit that wall hard. Just got loose right down in the middle of the corner where you jump back to the throttle.
And Chad is out of the car. He's okay.
Fortunately, it came all the way around, hit right side. Still a hard lick, but
in theorizing about the spotters, I forgot that the spotters listened to their team in one ear, NASCAR in the other ear, so they would have known about the crash.
Oh yeah, they knew
there.
it was coming out, but like I said, he didn't want to lose the lead to the 21. Plus, he did.
Oh, yeah, trouble.
Todd Bodine.
Kerry Earnhardt. No caution yet. They'll see if they can get them going through the infield here. Everybody gets by.
And Earnhardt is still rolling. Todd Bodine's car comes to a halt, but the field is only at turn 2, and here goes.
Anybody else, not a teammate or a friend necessarily, they're not going to tell you.
Sprague!
Yep, Sprague.
Turn 2. Pow!
The wall. Caution is out.
Hold it up there. Hold it up there. Oh.
Caution down, spin it 2. Be clear when you get there. Just look for liquid coming out. Just look for liquid.
You know, Sprague was just in trouble from the get-go. He's been backing up, hung up on the outside. That was inevitable.
And that's our point leader coming into this race. Any one of 5 drivers could leave here with the point lead tonight.
Car's got quite a bit of damage on it. There goes, ooh, man, somebody just ran over one of his little bars, Nerf bars out from under the rear bumper there.
Did Kevin Grubb make contact?
Yeah, he's down on the apron. What happened was he got down on the apron, Grubb did, slid up into Sprague. I don't know that he hit him, but he forced him up.
And that apron's a little different transition than the racetrack. You get down there too far, it'll shoot you back up the racetrack.
Got to believe he probably nerfed him.
We've run 12 laps. Why does it feel like 50?
I don't know, I'm out of breath. I'm glad we got a caution. Let's settle down here now. Let's take a deep breath, settle down, and we got a long way to go.
This must be the woogity part.
That's right. Maybe I shouldn't have used those words tonight. Boogie, woogie, woogie must not be too good.
First caution of the night, Jack Sprague, the point leader and pole sitter, has crashed at turn 2. Welcome back to Richmond, where Jack Sprague has brought out the first caution of the evening. And from the right front of Kevin Grubb, it looks as if there was contact between the two. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, Jack Sprague is on pit road for the 3rd time. Jack said his car was incredibly loose when he...
Was Johnny Benson hard into the wall at turn 3.
And Brian Vickers in the 40 car. Johnny Benson had already made his way up to about the 27th position after starting 43rd.
Boy, I tell you, Benson hit that wall hard. Unfortunately, right side. That car spun around and took off. You just don't realize, folks, you're doing 140 miles an hour into that 3rd turn on this little racetrack. You're going to have some heavy impact. Not a lot of room to buff off speed.
Benson, fastest in practice in both Busch and both Winston Cup final sessions, moving around in the car. Ted Marsh out of Madison, Connecticut.
Same car that Steve Park drove last year on a number of occasions.
We talked about the benefits of running the Busch race. This is the opposite.
You got it. And I'll tell you, he's moving around slowly in that car. I know he's moving around. That's good news, but he's mighty gingerly in there right now.
He had a fast race car. He just trying to make his way to the front without getting into trouble, and it just didn't happen.
He hit that thing flat too, and that's a tough lick.
Second caution of the night. 2 cautions in only 23 laps here at Richmond. Two cars, Christian Elder, turn 2.
That's Mark Green, actually.
You're right.
Yeah, that car. Elder usually drives that car.
Oof. That is Josh Richardson. And he is a
could make a joke with Smuckers there, but it wouldn't be kind because the back end of that car is gone.
No, and to follow up what I said about his dad, he's the crew chief on the 66 car, and he is one of the, he's Brett Bodine's nephew. And I'm sure that 11 car probably came out of Brett's stable.
Does that say Uncrushables in the back?
I believe it does.
False advertising. Oh, Uncrustables. Okay, that's okay.
We've run 37 laps, but 16 of those laps have been cautioned. Most of the leaders are staying out on the racetrack, still feeling that it's way too early to change one of those 3 sets of tires. We do need to document, along with Greg Biffle, that Hank Parker Jr., Johnny Sauter, and Ashton Lewis Jr. did pit on that last caution. They all got 4 fresh tires with some adjustments.
And the reason you'll see a lot of accidents in the first turn is, down at 1 and 2, is the way you enter the first turn. It's very enticing to stick your nose in under somebody getting down in that corner. It's also very enticing and necessary to turn, to make that corner. That's where 2, shall we say, people or whatever collide.
Goes Josh Richardson up to the wall.
Look at that thing cave. Look
Crushed
at the rear tires off the ground. Again, 140 mile an hour entry into these corners. Not a lot of room to buff off speed. Pretty hard impact.
And you know what happens a lot of time in turn 1, Darrell? You arc it in there. You stay against the wall a long time on the front stretch and then chop it down trying to straighten the corner out. And a lot of times there'll be somebody there and you'll be into them before you even know it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can go in that corner. You can actually end up bottleneck there 3 wide trying to get down in there. That's when things really get interesting.
Sucker hole.
Sucker hole. Yep. You got it.
The funnel grows too narrow.
Josh Richardson is okay, but he is not happy.
Ribs, possible concussion. He's being taken there for x-rays and a CAT scan.
And they ran this Busch race in order to do well in the Winston Cup race tomorrow at Big Wreck on the Speedway.
And more at turn 3. 2 more cars. Todd Bodine in the wall. And is that Jeff Green crashed there with him?
Yes, it is. A 21 car.
What, well, fellas? What in the world is going on, man?
Tell you one thing. We don't need restrictor plates to have the big one because we
you
just
got
had
it
it again.
All the way around. There you go. Come on. Hustle up.
That 92 car is demolished.
21 car is as well.
That 21 is. I just looked up, watching the wreck off of 2, as Dick was giving that report. And I looked down there and they're wrecking in 3.
Turn 3, Todd Bodine and Jeff Green. There were all kinds of cars piled up coming out of turn 2, and most of them have driven away.
Boy, this is going to take a while to clean this mess up here. That's water, probably gasoline, all kind of stuff running out from under that car.
Now this is out of turn 2. The 30, Tony Raines gets turned around by Randy LaJoie.
Of course, it just stacks up behind him. All these cars here. This is just a couple laps after a restart. Nowhere for these cars to go. You see Jeff Purvis in the 37, Casey Mears in the 66.
Everybody's taking evasive action. They've gotten stopped now.
Tim Sauter, the 19 in it, down on the low side. Something happened to Raines, and LaJoie was on the gas.
You know, it looked like
water was coming out of Tony Raines' overflow. Yeah,
Raines had water shooting up out of the overflow there in front, right in front of the windshield, as if there was something maybe wrong with that engine.
And Jeff Green has walked over to the aid of Todd Bodine. And there's Green, having checked on Todd, taking off his Hutchins device and walking away okay. And again, he hoped to learn something tonight that would help him in the Winston Cup race. But
all he's going to learn is you're going to have to be careful if you get back. He got shuffled up to the outside, and he was falling back. And I didn't know if Todd and he had some contact. I'm sure they must have going down into turn 3.
Well, let's see it from Jeff Green. Back straightaway.
Now this is out in front of the wreck with Tony Raines and Randy LaJoie.
Oh man!
Somebody just looks like got in the back of him right there.
Oh, that's a hard lick on left side. And Todd was underneath of him and looked like they made contact way early before they got to the corner.
Well, Todd has climbed from his car. He is okay.
They see the 33 car back here. See all that smoke and stuff flying out of it? Something happened to that car.
Yeah, you can see the water coming out the overflow right there. See it right there under the right side of the windshield? That's an overflow from the radiator that gives the driver a signal that, hey, we've got an overheating problem.
Add Jeff Purvis and Hank Parker Jr. and Shane Hall to the cars involved. Dick Berggren?
Well, that with Tony Raines, he's in the process of climbing out of his race car here in the pit area. Tony, what happened out there?
Well, it's just the way our year's been going. You know, we've had good fast cars and can't close the deal. And moving up pretty good. Car was handling well. You know, tight short track, getting a little warm, but we lost a motor somehow. It's not, you know, it doesn't happen to us very often. AMIC builds good motors, and we'll regroup and get them back at Loudon.
Well, you guys are right. The motor went. That's what started it. Mike.
Tank stick there is what's left of Jeff Green's car. They've got to pull the hood to find a place to hook up the tow strap and haul it away. And here is the Troy Klein car, sponsored by Rent-A-Wreck. No joke needed or wanted there. And from Michael Waltrip, that's how it all unfolded behind him. "57 laps complete." Here's a list of the cars involved in 2 separate crashes. The 21 to 92 at turn 3. After the accident at turn 2, there's a lot of cleanup to be done between turns 3 and 4 from fluid put down by Todd Bodine's car and Jeff Green's. We'll try to dry that up and get it swept off so we can go back to green. We have already had 250 laps worth of action at 50 laps.
It's incredible. These guys are just driving like there's no tomorrow. Running over each other and things happening to the cars.
This one, Darrell, do you think from Randy LaJoie's point of view, hard to avoid?
Oh, yeah. No, the 33 blew up. I mean, he said he did, and that's what caused this one. But then down there in turn...
there's the other wreck right there.
There they go.
Yeah, Todd Bodine had the position on Jeff Green getting into turn 3. We talked about it earlier. You sweep it down in these corners, and he just cut down there, and Todd Bodine was there.
Yeah, if you back it up and look at the top of your screen... Well, we need to look from back, looking down the racetrack.
Here's a little different angle on it. And when Rains gets sideways, the track's pretty well blocked up for everybody else.
Yeah, well, the 37 cars turn sideways there. Everybody does a great job, actually, of weeding their way through there.
Now, folks, where we want you to look is right up here on this next replay, up toward the top of your screen.
We see Jeff Green in the 21 right there. He's already up high coming off turn 2.
Now, as the camera swings, watch the upper left of your screen.
Yeah, watch down here because the 21 and the 92 are headed down the back. Here's the 92 right over here. He's got position on the 21. 21 starts down. Possibly thought the caution was coming out. Saw some sparks come out from under. Saw some sparks come out from under the 92 as if to get on the brakes real hard. But he'd already made contact, and around they went.
And in Todd's defense, he was already starting to move down. He saw Jeff Green coming down off the wall.
Well, Jeff Green, who had hoped to learn a lot that would help him tomorrow night, is out of this. Kerry Earnhardt has brought out the 5th caution here at lap 102. Spun getting into turn 1 and pounded the wall at turn 2.
Darrell, that's the way it goes right there. I mean, there's nights that the car was awesome. Now let's look at the replay right here. Kerry Earnhardt, it just in the 12 car.
He is over here, and he just
got loose with him right there in the middle of the corner.
Easy to do getting into turn 1 here. You drive in there on the outside, get a little high, get a little stuff on your tires, round you go.
Who are you going to tell Bradshaw to call?
He needs to call 911.
1010,
yeah, right. Because you're going to need more than a buck here, bud.
Shane Milne, the 47, just getting by on the outside. Wasn't sure where to go. He decided to go to the high side. I was going to tell you, your car's running good and flawless like Jimmy Spencer motor brakes. I've seen nights where he's getting lapped every 10 laps. You couldn't throw a boat down the carburetor and throw that motor up.
You're begging it to break.
Turn 2.
Boy, that started going into turn 1. Kenny Wallace and the 19 car, a couple of guys were all down in there 3 wide.
And it's Lyndon Amick who ends up against the fence.
Amick was on the outside. He was kind of like odd man out.
Nobody got a lap back or one of their lap backs.
That started coming down the front straightaway here. They got 3 wide. That dreaded what we were talking about, funneling down into turn 1. Kenny Wallace got down on the inside, and he ran down into the corner, and he forced a couple of cars up and caused a big wreck. Here's Kenny down here. 19 car in the middle. The 19 car doesn't have much room there. Kenny clips him. That gets Kenny loose, and into the Amick he goes.
Clipped Amick and then bounced up into, or clipped Ashton Lewis and then bounced up into Amick.
Kenny was going down in there really fast. See, gets tight. Ashton Lewis gets in. Kenny gets into Ashton Lewis.
Tim Sauter in the 19 gets in the back of Kenny Wallace right there.
Let's ride and listen with Kenny Wallace.
outside, outside. Lap car on the bottom, right in front of you. Clear low, there you go. 3 wide, 3 wide. No 3 wide, 2 wide. Still 2 wide. Hang on, hang on. Yeah, go, 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 go. Inside, inside, inside. Clear. No one come, watch your corner, watch your corner.
Gotta do something. Hold on.
There's the contact with Lewis and then Amick.
Michael and Jeff Purvis. Several of them slipping by on the inside there.
3 wide going into turn 1. You're trying to fight to get to 1 wide or 2 wide. It just don't work.
And poor old Amick, he was just up there minding his own business, and he gets clipped.
Unfortunately, he's okay.
Kid's had a rough year. It's been in several accidents that were none of really his making. As you can see there, Kenny just lost it, got up into him.
Well, we rudely interrupted Matt Yoakum to cover that. Let's get back to Matt.
Hey, we're going to check in with Steve.
Oh, somebody around down there.
Casey Kane, who climbed the hill up there earlier, and this time he pounds it.
They just cannot get in there 3 wide, and there's not enough room, and you got to give and take right there, and there's just not any giving going on.
7th caution.
The young Robert Yates protege. It's out the 7th caution and turn 2.
Left front.
Mike,
it's calamity corner.
It's just the way that turn is, the way you swing out to get down in that corner, and somebody can drive in under you. They're there, but you're coming down, and so you make contact.
It's no wonder that turn 2 grandstand is one of the more well-packed areas here.
It don't look like there's an empty seat down there in 1 or 2 anywhere.
I just don't think there's a preferred place to wreck tonight. To wreck it everywhere.
We have got a crowd here for this Busch race.
13 cars in the garage already, and the 98 will be the 14th.
Well, it's hard to see what happened from that angle.
Yeah, it just looked like he was loose right there. Whether he got any help, I don't know. But
here we go. Well, no, he just turned down in the corner. You carry a lot of speed down in there, and the car must just have been a little free with him. Round she goes. It's a similar looking spin as the Kerry Earnhardt had, where you just drive in there and the back end comes around.
Steve Burns.
Mike just caught loose in. We've
trouble right here, front straightaway.
We get another
Ashton
crash.
Lewis.
Front straight.
It looked like Ashton Lewis going around.
About 3 big spins and
see,
a catch.
See all that smoke? That's that sealer. That's what we were talking about. Now here comes the 19 car. Is he going to get his lap back finally?
I believe he
is.
will. Looks like
going to get one of them.
Here comes Shane Meal, and he may have made it.
Close.
Gordon score monitor Shane Mill did not get his back, but Tim Sauter in the 19 did get back. That'll put him back on the lead lap.
And that's good for him because, like I said, he's got a decent car.
Ashton Lewis is dizzy.
Man, he was spinning down through here, and all that sealer, like we said, spinning around, the tires spinning, just puts up a huge cloud like a smoke screen.
Kenny Wallace misses another one.
Look at that. Look at all that sealer, all that smoke, green that we were talking about. God, there's the guy that was lucky, that 38.
Mark Green. Just one spin, it looked like 3.
It did. It looked like he did a huge donut. It'd be more like a cinnamon bun instead of a donut.
But he gets to keep on going in that Civil Air Patrol Chevy. Here's Michael Waltrip.
Spin up there, back her down, back her down, back her down. All right, I can't see. All right, track is clear, track is clear. All clear, all clear.
Gosh, Darrell, why does Days of Thunder just flash through my mind as he drove into that cloud?
I don't know, but I can't see.
Turn 2, log jam. Riggs got collected and into the fence hard.
Mark.
Caution is out.
Okay?
10 cars crashed.
I'm okay.
Said he's okay. That's good news.
Kenny Wallace who got together with Riggs. But that was just it was a wad back there, Darrell.
Oh, yeah. Well,
everybody
like
trying to move forward all at the same time.
That's the only thing about new tires, old tires, and the difference in the cars. Just like Larry said, a guy on old tires, he's crippled a little bit. He can't go everywhere he needs to go, and especially a guy on new tires running all over the back of him.
There was contact between Kenny Wallace and Scott Riggs, but see, they're all bundled up in front of Riggs as well. Watch the second yellow car in your picture and the third one right there.
Yeah, Scott ran up on the back of that blue and white car in front of him. I couldn't tell which car that was. I think he had to check up. When he did, Kenny got in the back of him.
Scott Riggs third in points coming into this race.
There you see he gets a little loose. Mainly because he had nowhere to go. He had to check up just a tad, and Kenny had a head of steam and got into the back end of him. It's unfortunate for Scott. I mean,
I'm not sure, but that may have been. I think that was Randy LaJoie just ahead of him.
Didn't look too happy.
Nope.
I think he may have a little message for him. I think that safety worker has his helmet. Oh, he's a very unhappy young man, and I tell you, the spirit and the passion that kid has. I can't tell you how much he is controlling himself so well, because he is a high-strung young man.
Now, he was gesturing at Kenny Wallace, but in this, as the prior incident, it didn't look like Wallace had. Where was he going to go when Scott Riggs got him?
Well, anytime you get run into from back, it's just like if you're out on the highway and somebody rammed you in the rear end.
Right.
You know, you're going to be mad at the guy behind you, not the guy that rammed you, not the guy in front of you. What Scott was hoping, and what everybody hopes, is give me some room. You know, anticipate these things happening.
You saw Riggs wiggle and get sideways.
And I think what the two fingers mean, you got me once, then you didn't back off. You got me a second time right there in the same lick.
Controlled aggression.
Is out. Caution is out.
Boy, it didn't take long. That's Brian Weber in the number 84. Started this race back in provisional land in 38.
But what they like about the way it is over in turn 2, it's like you have more room now to get off the exit of the corner. You actually have 2 or 3 grooves over there to get off the corner.
So Weber brings out the first caution of the day at lap 3. Shane Meal has led every lap so far from Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Todd Modine. Welcome back to New Hampshire. Look way over here on the right side of your screen, and you'll see Brian Weber spinning into view.
Yeah, Mike, I just happened to be looking down toward turn 2, and he just got away from him right there. Got up out of the groove just a little bit, and around she came.
So they've made some hasty repair. Got Weber.
The field comes down for the green.
Oh, we got trouble right there on the front straightaway. Kenny Wallace is around.
Ashton Lewis Jr., 46 cars into him. No caution flag yet. Everybody's going, but boy, that was jammed up big time there for a second.
Somebody missed a shift on that right there. I can tell you that right now. He came down to the start-finish line.
Was it Lewis or Wallace who didn't get going? I think it was Ashton Lewis.
It's really hard to tell you right now, Mike, from our viewpoint right here.
And Stacy Compton off the pace.
I believe he's got some severe damage to the front nose of his car.
Got hard into the back of someone when all that happened from the Johnsonville camera on board Compton. And Jason Keller stove in the nose of his car as well. A lot of tire smoke there.
I believe that's out of Ashton Lewis Jr.'s car, the 46 car. A lot of damage on that left front. You can see the left front fender all kicked in against the tire. Well, I don't know. That don't look good. He's going to have to get on the pit road and get that fender pulled off.
Boy,
look, there's Stacy Compton's problems right there, the 59 car.
See what happened here on this restart.
Coming down for the green flag. Oh, right there.
It wasn't that Lewis didn't get going on the restart. Somebody ran into somebody, and it all backed up from there.
And these guys restart normally, I think, in second gear here, so you got to go from second, third to fourth as you get up to speed. And if you miss a shift or don't go as quick as someone, especially in a single file restart that early in the race, a lot of cars, they get jammed up.
Yeah, you really do. And you got to remember one thing else. You got spotters up here on top of your tower right here hollering green, 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 go, go, go. And sometimes you don't.
And Jason Keller makes the pass. And we got the 96 car up in turn 5 wall on the outside. 1 lap into the race.
It's Gus Wasson in the 96 car.
That's what you call, Steve, not a good start to the day.
No, all that preparation. And Gus Wasson in the 96. Hard to tell how much damage he does have. Let's take a look at this incident in progress, Mike Wallace.
Well, we caught it a little bit. It appears that he's already turned around at that point, so I don't know if we can get anything back before that, but the car was turned around, getting down into turn 4 there, and could have been a brake situation. Get hard under brakes, trying to get slowed down, didn't have enough heat, wheel chattered a little bit, got the car turned around.
Well, we'll take a quick break here at the Nazareth Speedway in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. You're watching NASCAR Busch Series Racing on FX. Welcome back to Nazareth Speedway in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Under caution right from the get-go. Gus Wasson in the 96 in the wall. The window net is down, so he's okay. 72, Rich Markle took his car to the garage. Appears his day may be finished. Mike Wallace, we had just gotten going before trouble happened.
Well, it happens at a racetrack like this. A flat racetrack, long back straightaways, a lot of speed. Can't really tell for sure what happened, but it appears the 72 and Gus Watson got together getting into turn 4, and flat racetracks, it happens so easily.
And you mentioned that in the pre-run.
We've got a turn.
Trouble, Jack Sprague.
And that's what happened on turn 3. The corner closes up so much, and you're seeing wrecks up behind it and everything else, that once it gets shuffled up and closed, you have nowhere to go.
Several cars damaged in that mishap.
Steve, they're not listening to us. We're telling them to calm down, have some patience, you know, but it's unfortunate there.
See the 52 car, Brad T, caution out on lap 19. Already 3 cautions here today. We saw Jack Sprague go around. Let's take a look at the replays, Mike, see if we can find out what happened.
Well, we see it's pretty simple right here. It appears the 18 car, Mike McLaughlin, best I can tell, got in the back of Jack Sprague. Again, Jack is very lucky, though. It appears he just spun without hitting anything. But the big wrecks are starting behind Jack. He's slow. The field's coming up behind him. They're stacking up, and spotters hollering wreck, and you're trying to gain spots.
Sprague goes around there in the 24. There's McLaughlin behind him. The 60 behind McLaughlin. And the 27, Jamie McMurray goes around.
And then at the very top of the picture, we're going to end up seeing somebody up here in the corner. It looks like Ricky Hendrick from a distance.
Let's take a view from Mike McLaughlin to see. This should tell the tale, Mike.
Well, he's trying to tell Jack, I'm on the gas before you are, and you need to get going. I'm making a joke about that there, but right. what happens is he
listed in the 6th position.
That patience we were talking about.
49 car, Troy Klein. Caution is out again for the 5th time. '49 back underway, but look at Kevin Grubb's car.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation. We'll see what happens here shortly. That's a big wreck off of turn 3 there. It appears he got right in the back of somebody or drove that thing straight in the fence and it turned itself around. The Toys R Us car's got the draft head up in the air right now.
That's not a good sign. Caution out, as we said, for the 5th time. Caution displayed on lap 70. Here's a replay.
Well, this is a big chain out.
Oh. The 66, Casey Mears, looks like he got into the back. The 38, Mark Green. The 49, Troy Klein. Now we're riding with Greg Biffle. That's Casey Mears just ahead of him. He gets into the 38 who had checked up. And I think they were trying to avoid the 49, Mike.
Well, I think that's what was happening. And what we didn't see is the 38 car spin to the inside there, but we still haven't actually figured out where the 54 car has ended up getting so tore up at. He's run into someone, and
he is flat torn up.
Yeah, that's a pretty severe wreck, especially in that location. It didn't appear that he got in an outside wall or anything.
Well, as the track workers sweep up, Kevin Grubb is okay, but the window net is down.
Shows what's going on. He's open to lead up there.
Oh, trouble. On the backstretch. The 24 and the 5, the teammates, Jack Sprague and Ricky Hendrick involved in that. Caution is out. 38, Mark Green, looks like he was also involved. Heavy damage to the front of that car.
lot of damage to the 38 car. He's definitely going to have to take that behind the wall. They got a radiator leaking, probably an oil line ripped off of it. And unfortunate, Mark Green was having a good run there in the Aikens car.
Mark sharing that ride with Christian Elder this season.
He had a great clip.
Oh, that's the second one, Mike. That's too much.
Too much, huh? Well, you know.
It's a clip. The replay.
It appears that
that's Todd Bodine in the 92 spinning.
Yeah. Todd Bodine got spun, and
he makes contact with Sprague, who got slowed down on the 24.
You can see.
Caution's out. Caution's out. They'll probably send him on. Don't do it, boys. Too late. It'll be right side tires, and he's going to get gone. One round of wedge out.
And looks like Greg Biffle's been caught up.
Okay, back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Barry. Documenting the pit stop, right side tires of the 10 car. Greg Biffle. Heavy impact, I believe, with the 37 of Jeff Purvis. Caution out on lap 168. 7th time today. Yep, that's the 37 of Jeff Purvis.
Really hard hit between Jeff Purvis and Greg Biffle over there, right in turn 2, between turn 2 and 3 underneath that walkover bridge, and those guys took a really hard lick.
We were watching the pit stop for Scott Riggs. Let's take a look and see what happened, Mike Wallace.
See Biffle. The wreck has already happened. Well, you can see what happened. Jeff Purvis appears that he's lost a motor, and he's got oil all down. And severe wreck. I hope to. You know, that was a hard hit right in the door, but as we seen the oil that coming out from underneath Jeff's car, what happened, there was oil on the racetrack. Biffle couldn't turn the thing and just hit him. I mean,
let's listen from Greg Biffle's cockpit, on board with Greg Biffle.
Yeah, you can tell that Greg hit him awful hard. You know, those. You know, you can finally see Greg starting to move his hands around a little bit inside the car, which is good. The window net's not down, but we are seeing some movement inside the car. And look how hard this car is hit. It's literally moved the roof apart up here in this area. That's a tremendous hit.
Just an awful sounding impact when the 60 hit the 37 of Jeff Purvis.
He was just it's an unfortunate situation, Steve. What happens when you get in that oil, it doesn't matter what you do. The tires just will not grip. You could hear him try to get the car sideways, literally squalling the tires, but the speed was there already, and there was nothing he could do about it.
But we see Greg Biffle has taken his helmet off. He's moving around in the 60 car. Caution out for the 7th time today. Hard impact between Greg Biffle and Jeff Purvis. We'll be back in just a minute to find out what's happening. Welcome back to the Nazareth Speedway in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. We're under caution for an accident on lap 168. Greg Biffle got into the 37 car of Jeff Purvis. That's Greg Biffle headed to the Infield Care Center. As soon as we hear something about the condition of Jeff Purvis, we'll let you know. Here's his team. There's 28 laps remaining in this race, 27 when they cross the start-finish line.
And to recap, what appears to happen is that the 37 car lost a motor as it went through turn 1, or basically into turn 2, lost a lot of oil all over the racetrack, got in the wall a little bit, turned in the racetrack, and Greg Biffle come by and got him really hard on the right side. So they're working on the situation right now, and
we'll be back here at the Nazareth Speedway in just a moment. You're watching FX. Welcome back to Nazareth Speedway. We're under caution. Accident between Greg Biffle and Jeff Purvis. Track safety workers still attending to Jeff Purvis. Jason Keller, just to reset, is your leader. We've completed 174 of 200 laps. And as the track workers continue to attend to the situation on the racetrack, we'll take a break and be back with the Stacker 2 200 here in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.